Hello guys, Belle here. Going to give you a little walkthrough on what it looks like for Protection Warriors as far as your honor talents for PvP are concerned. If you're interested in learning more about PvP in Legion and what it looks like, make sure you click the top right hand corner of the link after you're done watching this video so that you can get the full breakdown on what Legion PvP looks like, how to prestige, what it looks like to gain your honor levels, as well as where you acquire your gear. So a couple things to get started here for your talents. You will unlock those gaining honor levels, and you'll unlock them incrementally, excuse me, that was a little bit of a struggle for me. You will unlock them every couple of levels. There's a set number of levels on each of these on how they unlock. You'll actually start with your first column in the order of the way that unlocks. It starts from the top, goes to the bottom, then you'll do your second and then third column. What I liked about this specifically is because you'll actually, by I think it's honor level 10, you'll be able to utilize at least one in each row. So that's going to make it super nice when you're trying to progress through your PvP to gain all of your things. Now for this first row here, this is going to be true across all specs and classes. They all have the same rows. They all have the same talents. The reason for that is because this is your CC breaker defensive, so it's going to be the same for all. Your default one, which you get at level 110, is going to be the Gladiator's Medallion. This does replace the Honorable Medallion. It is instant. It's on a 2-minute cooldown, removes all movement and pairing effects and all effects which cause loss of control to your character while in PvP combat. Obviously, this is your go-to defensive trinket. You're going to want to make sure that you have this. For the next one here, you do have Adaptation. This is a passive ability. All loss of control effects with a duration of 5 seconds or more will activate your Honorable Medallion spell, but will cause it to incur a 60-second cooldown. Relentless is going to replace your Honorable Medallion. This is passive. Duration of incoming crowd control effects is reduced by 25%. Now, I want to let you know that I did test this on my Warlock, which, as Destruction, I'm widely CC'd in any PvP engagement because of my Chaos Bolt. So they typically want to try to shut me down because of that and because of my fear. So I did find that although Arenas is going to be where you're going to want to use your trinket because you're going to want to have control over when you pop that defensive, especially when it can mean the make or break of you winning an arena engagement. I did find that for Relentless, it was most useful in Battlegrounds, which I will also take that to mean it'll be most useful in RBGs as well. The reason being, there's so much CC going on because you're dealing with so many other people, especially if you're a class that gets CC'd constantly, whether you're a healer, whatever your role is. Relentless did feel like I was in CC less because of the reduction in the duration. I'm not saying that this is necessarily the way to go, but I'm letting you know that you do have other options when it comes to RBGs and Battlegrounds versus Arenas, and that it is definitely worth giving Relentless a try for those engagements. I do, however, for Arena, will always recommend the trinket just because it's needed, depending on the type of arenas that you do play. So with your second row here, this is going to be Relentless Assault. This is passive. Being attacked increases your damage by 3%. It does last for 5 seconds. This can also stack up to 5 times. For the second one here, you have Oppressor. This is passive. Your taunt has a reduced range, but causes the enemy player to be intimidated, which does increase their damage taken by 20% for 6 seconds. Your melee attacks refresh the duration of Intimidated. For your Softened Blows, this is passive. Any non-periodic attack that deals damage less than 10% of your maximum health is reduced by 20%. For the next row here, your Mass Spell Reflection. This is pretty nice, I'm not going to lie. It is instant and only has a very small 30-second cooldown, which is pretty nice. Reflects all spell casts on you and all party and raid members within 20 yards for 3 seconds. I know it's only 3 seconds, but holy OP. Sword and Board. This is passive. Increases your critical strike chance of your Devastate by 30%, and Shield Slam deals 20% more damage while Shield Block is active. You also have Bodyguard. This is a 10-yard range. It's instant and it's on a 15-second cooldown. Protect an ally, causing 40% of all physical damage they take to be transferred to you. When the target takes physical damage, your revenge cooldown has a 30% chance to be reset. Bodyguard is canceled if the target is further than 15 yards from you, and it does last 1 minute. Only one target can be bodyguarded at one time. For your next set here, you do have Rage Machine. This is passive. Non-periodic attacks against you generate 5 rage. Tenderizer is also another passive ability. Auto attacks against targets above 80% health do generate 5 rage. And then, of course, you have Ready for Battle. This is passive. Rage gain from Intercept increased by 15%. In the next row here, you have Leave No Man Behind. This is passive. Using Intercept on allies reduces damage they receive by 90% for 2 seconds. Morale Killer is passive. Reduces the cooldown of Demoralizing Shout by 30 seconds. And Demoralizing Shout now reduces the damage enemies deal to all targets, not just you. Your shield bash, this is instant. It has a very small 10-second cooldown. Bash the target with your shield, dealing 115k physical damage and reducing their damage done by 15%. If the target is casting, the cooldown is instantly reset. This does also generate 3 rage. For your final row here, you do have Thunderstruck. This is passive. Thunderclap roots all targets for 1 second. Your Warpath, this is also passive. When landing with Heroic Leap, all targets are stunned for 3 seconds. And then for the final one here, you have Dragon Charge. This is instant. It has a small 20-second cooldown. Run at a high speed distance in front of you. All enemies in your path will take 109k physical damage and will be knocked back. In my opinion, I don't know a lot about Prot Warriors as far as PvP is concerned, because I don't really fancy tanks in PvP, but I do know that they're actively working on changes to make tanks viable and to be an integral, important part of PvP, as they're hoping to balance to where they should be hard to kill, but not necessarily unkillable. With this, in my opinion, just from looking at this, I would think Dragon Charge is actually pretty awesome, just because of the knockback and the physical damage that's done by enemies in your path. This to me means it's especially useful in Battlegrounds. So with that being said, those are going to be your PvP talents, and that's going to be your breakdown. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment on the video. If you're new to PWNCAST, make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you can stay up to date on all your Legion guides, as well as PvP and PvE guides when Legion is live. I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.